asked the milkman to fill the tub with milk. The milkman said, "You want that milk pasteurized?" And the blonde replied, "No, just up to my boobs. I can splash it in my eyes."
Alright, I'm back again. I'm late as hell with this one. Spoiler alert, just to get that out the way. I'm gonna be talking about Dandadan chapter. I think it was two. Was it 219 this week? Last week? Because I'm doing this the break week. Like it's on it came out. Okay, this Monday was the 8th, so it came out the 1st. I just didn't feel like reviewing it, to be honest. I'm lazy as hell. I don't have a job or nothing. I'm just lazy as shit sometimes. I don't know what y'all want me to do. But I guess I could try not to be as lazy. How about that? I'll try that at damn near 29 years old. I'll try that. How about that? That might work out better. As y'all can tell, I'm kind of pissed off with myself because I was telling myself in my head, hey, do that shit. It's easy. Just talk about whatever. So, in this chapter, we saw Momo and Okaroon's relationship like blossom even more than what it already was blossoming to. Like I'm talking about since she's had amnesia and shit. Obviously before there was way more work put in before she lost her memory. But I'm saying like we see how close they are at this point, even without her having her memory. And this is for the people who be like, oh, there has to be a reason they're together. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like it can't be coincidence that they're together. It has to be like, nah, there has to be like he has to earn it. Like basically, I'm like, nah, bro, because most people meet under very circumstantial situations. It's like, nigga, if you wasn't here at this moment, you wouldn't have met this person. You feel me? So I don't agree with that. I'm not gonna discount your opinion now. If you feel that way, hey man, we're all allowed an opinion. I know that sounds very condescending, but I'm just saying I don't agree with it. But hey, it's cool. It's an opinion. I got some opinions. A lot of people might not agree with about this manga, about everything. Like, okay, so we see them. It picks back up with Okaroon having just got, you know, was that this chapter? Damn, I might be a chapter off. It picks up. I'm pretty sure this chapter picks up with Okaroon. We see him after he got like, stabbed. It was like most people thought. He didn't get stabbed that deep. He got stabbed in the shoulder area. And I saw somebody post after the chapter that they're gonna have to rush him to the hospital because he got stabbed. I'm like, he got stabbed in the shoulder. Seems like he's doing all right. He's gonna have to get patched up, but he's gonna be fine. Is what it looks like. That's where it's leaning. Now, a lot of shit could happen, but I'm just saying. But yeah, she ends up jumping on top of him basically to save him, and they're very very close to each other. It's like she's hugged up on him pretty like tightly for having no memory of who he really is, and it's just like that's the comfortability, and that's like she's able to do that with him already. So it's like that's a very good thing already. And I'm not reading off a script here. I just don't like looking in the camera. And also, they defeated the mummy. Did that happen last chapter? Nah, it didn't. Uh, yeah, it did happen last chapter. That's where I'm at. Okay, bet. So what happened is the mummy turned into like it revealed its true form, and it was like a big ass whale. It was a fat ass sperm whale. But it can't, like, as we know already, a lot of these aliens can't handle the Earth's atmosphere. The Serpo, it seemed like they can handle it pretty well, but a lot of these aliens can't handle the Earth's atmosphere for too long. Like the gravity, they'll get crushed. So what happens? When its true body comes out, it gets crushed. And Momo and Okaroon are celebrating the win and stuff. And then I know I say "and then" a lot because I'm trying to keep it going. I'm trying to keep it on the roll here. So what happens after that is Okaroon has to tell Momo he's like, you have to bring the chi up out of me so I can slice this thing in half or do whatever. and there's a debate, not a debate. It's not a debate. There's a little bit of a back and forth going on in the community right now. Was it Momo's powers that was protecting them, or was it Okarum like using the club? Because to me, it looked like Momo's powers. It looked like an incomplete version of her powers. Because it didn't look like anything the Ogre Club could do. And so Okarum used the Ogre Club. He slashes the thing in half, but it's still falling down on him. And when it like comes back from like the fade to black basically, she's laying on top of him, and there's a shield over both of them. So, and there was a couple of suggestive positions they was in throughout the fight. Like there was one where Okarum was on top of her. It was like, oh shit. I get where they was going with it. It's like, okay, it is just funny, but it's like there ain't no time to care about that shit now. And you know, Okarum ends up telling Momo like he was like, it's nice to know that even though you lost your memory, you're still the same Messiah say I remember. And I was like, that was a sweet moment. And that was probably the best moment of like there another moment I gotta talk about. You feel me? But that was probably the best Okarum and Momo moment of this whole like little fight they just had. I be getting my weeks mixed up, so I'm thinking about that right now. I'm anxious about it because I'm putting this out as is. But and if the lighting look a little off, it's because for some reason my room doing some weird shit with the light. I don't know, something wrong with that light over there. Anyway, and I usually don't film from right here, so that might be it too. What else happened? Yeah, that was basically the end of the fight. The Serpo ran off like some bitches because they was like, oh well, we fucked up again. And they just ran off, left the nigga that they couldn't save the. In all fairness, they couldn't save the alien that just died because the nigga exploded because of the Earth's atmosphere. So what was they supposed to do? They dipped, they hit the dash. So I want to see what's going. We don't know where the car lady is either. She just kind of disappeared in the middle of the fight after fighting the Serpo for a little bit. We don't know if the rest of the Serpo got her. We don't know what happened. So I assume she got away though, because she was whooping their ass in the chapter. She came in and saved Okarum and Momo, but at least saved them for the time being. You know what I'm saying? Then like she beat the Serpo up so they wouldn't have any distractions. So Momo basically tells Okarum, she's like, "Oh, I must be heavy. Let me get off you." He's like, "Nah, you're light." And I'm like, "This nigga done learned. You don't ask women how much they weigh. You don't acknowledge it." He what's it called? He basically and she was like, and she couldn't walk. Like the thing that makes me think she used her powers is because she couldn't even walk after the fight, and it's like because she was so like exhausted, and she was like, I guess it was like her adrenaline ran out, and so she like went down to like she like dropped down to the ground. It was like I can't even walk, and then Okarum was like he got like he was like he basically got in a position to carry her piggyback like he did all the time when he was like turbo granny mode, and it was a nice little callback. He basically was like I got used to carrying you on my back, trust me. And so she got on his back, and she's like talking to him. She's like I'm not heavy, am I? He's like no, you're good. And then she just like they're just like walking. And then she's like, Okarum, and then he's like, yeah. She's like, I believe in space aliens now. I'm like, bitch, you better. But that's a good. It's everything's like looking good on that end. But then we shift over to the hospital. That Seiko's in. Her ass laid up. They done gave her some nice drugs, knocked her out. I guess she already had the surgery. Because she wakes up, she puts on her glasses, and she first thing she does is look down on the end of the bed, and the motherfucking turbo granny is laying right there. And the Seiko don't even ask her, she don't even say why you here, all that good shit. She's like, have you eaten? She's like, yeah. She's like, I've been all around the world eating a lot of good food, but she's like it's really not to my taste, basically. And it's like she basically is acknowledging like, yeah, it wasn't the same without Seiko, because they had built a pretty good bond before she left. So it was like I wonder how like they done hinted at Seiko feeling like lonely ever since she left, or like a part of her was missing, kinda. And so we don't really get anything from Saint Germain this chapter, which I know some people probably felt a way about because they and Daiki and Zuma also did not show up. Still, I've been on the Reddit going crazy. I've been like, nigga, Daiki and Zuma still MIA. Where the fuck they at? I was like, the last message I made, I was just like, yeah, I was like, at this point, Daiki and Zuma dead as fuck. And I'm like, bruh, I've been banging the drum. A couple other niggas been in there banging the drum too. It's like, bro, I want to see where they at because it looked like they got kidnapped or something. And it's like, we'll get there when we get there. But this does set up a interesting thing. People still think the whistle's gonna come into play, but I'm like, I think he literally just gave them the whistle to actually help them. I do think he wants Momo and Okaroon around each other, so when I assume he's gonna kidnap Okaroon, and he's gonna be like, hey, if you don't want me to keep Okaroon, you could just give up your powers, and she's gonna seriously consider that shit. That's what I think is gonna no extra story beats or nothing like that. That's what I think the broad points are gonna be. It could be him sacrificing himself for her, and then she has to return the sacrifice or feel like she has to. But then some MacGuffin comes in, and I don't mind MacGuffins when they make sense. Let me just say that because yeah, there's been a couple of parts where it's been like, yeah, that's a MacGuffin right there in this whole story of Dandadan. But it's like, nigga, it's fine. When it's written well, it's like, okay, I don't care. There have been hella shit that those MacGuffins in Avengers. There have been hella MacGuffins. It's been like, okay, so this motherfucker Iron Man just flew up and he blew up the main ship, and the rest of the Chitauri just died. Was that ever said before? I think it was maybe once. It was offhandedly said, but it was like I still accepted that with open arms. I was like, okay, nigga, this bullshit, but come on in. Take your shoes off, sit down, have a good time. You allowed. You feel me? But yeah, I just think this next chapter is gonna be more getting back to like slice of life type elements coming in. I do think somebody's like, oh, Momo's gonna get a job at the bakery. I don't know. Her and Okaroon might get jobs at the bakery. Her and the whole crew might get jobs at the bakery. We don't know. Still looking forward to when uh when Okaroon finally tell Iron it's off. You know, I don't fuck with you like that. He already done told her that basically, but I'm not one of those niggas like that. Just you know, that's weird about it. That's like, oh, Okaroon should say more to Ira. I'm like, she is his friend. He's trying not to hurt her feelings, but he's also like, you're making me feel very uncomfortable about this shit. You know I like her. I don't know why you acting like you stupid or something. Everybody at this point, probably besides like, I wouldn't even say Gigi doesn't know. Maybe Quinta doesn't know, but everybody else they like, nah, they way too close. We know at least one motherfucker know. We know at least two actually. Seiko knows, and Vamola knows. But that's it. That's basically a recap of the chapter and how I'm feeling about where it's going. But all right,
That's my shit. That's my way. Do it like that and I'll repay you. Don't be scared. I ain't afraid. Just like that. Come my way. That's my shit.